improving soil and water quality through conservation agriculture. Runoff and erosion are two major environmental problems. Amongst their main adverse effects are lower crop productivity and the transfer of soil particles and crop protection products to surface and groundwater. Understanding and identifying the causes of runoff and erosion can help us to propose solutions to avoid them. Problems: loss of fine particles. Farms in which conventional tillage is practiced can often see the occurrence of a decrease in soil fertility due to the loss of the finer elements of the topsoil. The areas of a field where this loss occurs are easily distinguishable due to the different color of the soil or the poor crop condition. For example, smaller size crops and a worse growth stage than in surrounding areas. Formation of gullies. The formation of small rills is an indication that the soil is at risk. Ignoring the problem will lead to these rills degenerating into gullies. Over time, gullies can increase in size, reducing trafficability on the farm, increasing cost of land management, along with a significant loss of productive soil. Sediment deposit. Fine soil particles which are lost from the topsoil are swept downstream, either ending up in water streams or remaining deposited at the lowest part of the valley. This causes surface crusts that hinder or prevent the emergence of crops. Runoff doesn't only affect the field where it is generated, but it can also affect the environment around it. Runoff can negatively affect water quality in two ways. Through sedimentation of river and water streams, as water bodies that receive runoff flows will have excessively murky waters, creating ecological and physical problems in remote locations where eventually the sediments are deposited. Runoff can also lead to crop protection products and excessive nutrients reaching watercourses, with negative effects on aquatic ecosystems. The chemicals are bound to the soil particles and sediments which run off from the field to the water. Fortunately, there are a number of off-best management practices growers can adopt to prevent runoff and erosion. Best management practices. Conservation agriculture. Conservation agriculture is a holistic approach to sustainable agriculture that minimizes soil disturbance, leaves a permanent cover, and diversifies crops. No tillage is the best practice for annual crops, while ground covers are for permanent crops. Conservation agriculture improves the structure and overall quality of the soil. It leads to a soil with a continuous network of pores, resulting in better water infiltration and water retention capacity. Leaving the remains of previous crops on the field also helps to slow down runoff water by providing obstacles. Permanent ground cover is an effective shield that protects soil against extreme rainfalls, limiting erosion by more than 90%. Better farm traffic management to avoid compaction. The control of machinery traffic, aided by precision farming systems and low-pressure tires, prevents compaction and helps maintain soil structure. Increased plant density in the most vulnerable areas. In the zones most vulnerable to erosion, incrementing the sowing rate or doubling crop lines can help decrease the speed or runoff and can protect the soil and water courses from becoming compacted or sedimented. Gully control. The stabilization of gullies with the implementation of vegetation in banks and borders, mainly at the top of slopes, prevents their occurrence and thus reduces the risk of erosion. Multifunctional field margins. Multifunctional field margins established in different areas of the farm, for example around its perimeter and on the banks of water streams, favours the reduction of erosion in the basin, preventing contamination of waterways from sediments and providing habitats for the enhancement and protection of local biodiversity. Conservation agriculture and best management practices for soil and water protection are a win-win situation. They support the farmer's profitability while at the same time reducing erosion and runoff, avoiding negative effects on water quality and keeping crop protection products where they are needed most, in the field.